Hello and thank you for joining me for this video. In this video I'm gonna be showing you how I styled my hair for my new lipsticks launch photoshoot. I'm gonna be doing an updo with 2 victory rolls. My hair was set in rolls 2 days before this video because we were shooting photos from my online store all week. So you can see it's kind of tired but also has some leftover rolls in it that are gonna be helpful for this hairstyle. So to refresh the hair and break down some of the hairspray that was already in it and made it difficult to work with, I used some Suavecita setting spray which wets the hair a bit, and then I was able to brush out some of the product and tease that was already in it. This is a really great style to do after a few days into your roll set. Now that the hair is fresh again and soft enough to actually be workable, I'm gonna start by dividing it into a back section and a front section. I am creating a line using my comb from the side part of the hair all the way to my ear. Using an alligator clip, I'm pushing the back of the hair away so it's not in the way. Now just repeat on the other side. Next, I'm gonna be backcombing the whole front section. Doing so line by line, I'm dividing the hair into narrow lines that fit in my comb, and then just pushing the comb down towards the scalp so the hair is teased. Make sure you are doing this patiently and taking small sections that actually fit in your comb. If you feel a certain area isn't teased enough, you can always go over it again. Don't be afraid to go over the top, you can always easily brush it out and smooth the outer layer of the backcombing. In case you're wondering why backcombing is used for these kinds of hairstyles, the purpose is to give the styling element some volume, but also to stabilize it and make it easier to sculpt. If you're not using backcombing, not only will the overall shape be less sculpted, but it will also be harder to style and not stay as long as you're planning for the hairstyle to actually maintain its shape. In this technique I'm showing, it's really like having a sculpture on your head and it doesn't move all day at all. So in this area, I know I have finer hair, so I'm teasing it in extra small sections and then putting it up to check if it's not see-through. Because I see it's not full enough and there are some areas that you will be able to see through, I'm cheating a bit by taking another small section from the back area. I'm teasing this section as well, and now the victory roll will look way better. Don't be afraid of how this looks and of over backcombing. It's really not that hard to control all of this mess. I'm using a brush which is usually called a teasing brush, but I'm using it to actually tidy up all the teasing. So I'm brushing just the outside layer of the backcombing and also the ends of the hair, so it will easily turn into a roll later in the styling process. Sometimes I use the blow dryer in these kinds of heavy-duty hairstyles where I need it to be an actual living sculpture, so I'm just spraying the area I want to set and then drying it with the hairdryer, so it sets it quicker and also makes it a bit more sturdy. The area I'm currently working on is gonna be the big roll, so I'm paying special attention to the outline and the shape, kind of the silhouette of this roll to make sure it's flattering and in the right proportions to my face. I'm making sure the outer layer of the hair is as smooth as possible, and also I'm laying down some of the flyaways. All you need to do is use some hairspray and very lightly and superficially comb the hair. And now one side is ready to be rolled. So what you see here is that I already parted the hair in the side where I want victory rolls to meet. It looks a bit different at this point because off camera I played around with the hair a little bit to try and figure out what hairstyle I'm even doing, because I had a few ideas and wasn't sure yet when I sat down and filmed this. So now I'm sure I'm doing 2 victory rolls. So here you can see me starting to do the bigger victory roll. I'm taking U-shaped pins to start shaping the roll, but not really setting anything in stone at this point, just using them to help hold the shape while I'm continuing to style the roll. I keep making sure I like the shape and the outline, that it's proportional and flattering, and shaping it as I go. You can use the metal tail of the comb to lift and shape the roll, and of course the comb side of the comb for smoothing. Now it's time to start rolling the ends of the hair in a spiral form. I'm brushing them a bit so it will be easier to control. I start by rolling the center of the hair string on my two fingers, releasing it, and then continuing to roll it. It's that easy. Not really. So I rolled this about 5 times until I was actually happy with the results. So I'll spare you all of that footage and jump right to the last rolling attempt. Here you can see I'm doing it a bit differently. I'm rolling the roll flat on itself, making sure a spiral form is achieved by rolling the string of hair smaller and smaller as it gets closer to the ends. Unfortunately, there is no magic hack to styling hair. If you want it to be perfect, sometimes you just need to redo it until it's closer to what you're imagining in your head. I think now it looks like a really cute cinnamon roll, so it's time to start setting it. I'm using U-shaped pins and sticking them in the roll, not all the way in. I just hold the shape so I can set it better with hairspray. Also have my hands free for all the finishing touches, and also make sure it works well with the roll on the other side that I'm gonna be doing before I fully commit to this shape. What you're seeing here is a sigh of relief. Not every time I style my own hair it goes smoothly. There are those kinds of days when it's super frustrating, but sometimes you just need to stick with it, and at the end something good will come out of it. So moving on to the small roll, this side is usually easier because all you have to make sure of is that it fits with the first bigger roll and looks good with it together. I'm using a flat closed bobby pin this time and hiding it by inserting it from the back of the roll and making sure it doesn't go all the way to the front so you can't see it. Here also I'll use some guiding U-shaped pins to hold the shape while I'm doing the finishing touches and setting the rolls. I'm also using pins to connect the two rolls together. You can use the back of the comb to tuck in those flyaways and make the kind of meeting point of the rolls smooth as well. As you can see, this whole hairstyle is held together by hairspray and also some U-shaped pins, so don't be afraid to use many of them, and later you can always take out the ones that you feel are too visible. As opposed to bobby pins, U-shaped pins are really easy to take out, so they're actually really great tools for the styling process. Spray, shape, and smooth the rolls until you're satisfied with the results. Now that I'm happy with the result and the spray is starting to dry down, I can take out some of the U-shaped pins, and if they leave a mark, I just fix it while the spray is still drying. Next, I'll use the hairdryer again on very low air to dry the hairspray and set it firmly. You can see these victory rolls look really good with the back of the hair loose actually, but I wanted to do an updo and I'm sticking with it. So yeah, that's a hair tie. At this point I was getting very impatient because of these attempts I mentioned before, and because I was questioning why did I even start filming something when I had no idea what I'm even gonna be doing. So I just grabbed a hair tie to create a super quick updo. You can see on my YouTube channel a ratchet inspired hairstyle where I put a lot more effort into the back of the hair, so you can use that actually as a reference. But here I'm just getting ready for a photo shoot and the back wasn't so important to me. All I did is roll the ponytail around a few fingers, slide them out and stick some bobby pins to hold it in place. If you are going somewhere with this hairstyle, the least you should do is take a little string of hair, wrap it around the hairband in order to hide it, or use accessories like I'm gonna be doing in a bit, but it's not really hidden all the way, so I felt the need to mention it. The technique is pretty similar to what I was doing this whole hairstyle, using hairspray, using the back of the comb to tuck away all of the flyaways, and using U-shaped pins to hold everything in place. Next, I'm using actual fresh roses as an accessory in my hair. I just cut it down so I can place it in my hair. I figure out the exact location and then just secure it using strong bobby pins. I positioned the first one and then I see for sure I need another one to help make everything come together nicely. I saved the best for last. I'm now using the new products that I just launched to do my lips. These products right now come as a set. The lipstick is called The Perfect Red, and for a very limited edition that is still available but is really about to run out, it will come with a double-sided retractable brush that is called The Precision Brush. This is by far my favorite red lipstick. It has a rich red color, a matte velvety finish, it's super long-lasting and it magically doesn't dry the lips. As you can see, it really glides on the lips so smoothly and doesn't need layers because it's so pigmented. Once it dries, it feels super light on the lips. You will almost forget it's there. Next, I'm doing the upper lip. I'm starting with the white side of the brush, filling in the lips, And in the next step, I will use the sharper side of the brush to perfect the outline of the upper lip and create a more heart-inspired shape. Make sure to switch the direction of your hands when you're switching between the two sides of the lip. Also, make sure to kind of lean back and watch the lips from afar to make sure they're symmetrical. Make sure to fill in the inner corners of the lips. If you love this lipstick as much as I do, which I promise you will, please help support a small and woman-owned business by purchasing my lipstick. Every order means the world to me. Also, by the way, it's vegan and cruelty-free. The quantity is very limited, so make sure to get yours before it runs out. Follow the link in the description of this video to go to my online shop, and of course I offer worldwide shipping. Thank you lovelies for watching and subscribing. Can't wait to see you in my next video. Kisses!